Hello, the Trace here. I'm at my villa here in Missouri. As you can see, it's quite a lovely sanctuary. It's my house is over there. But basically what I'm going to be talking to you today is about wealth inequality and how it's complete BS. Now, a lot of poor people say, oh, the rich are this, the rich are that. Bitch, they're the ones that supply the jobs. I hate to be real with you, but they're the ones that supply the jobs. They're the ones that have always been there and will always be there. I mean, let's be honest. Let's say communism, for example. Communism was built around the working man, and look how that shit worked out. Stalin, Lenin, all of them were, you think they weren't making money? Stalin had several mansions, self-election. Basically, the route I want to be is I don't want to be like inconsiderate here. Like, I have sympathy for the poor. I really do. I'm gonna be legit. I have sympathy for them. But I'm also going to be legit and say there's no way that you're ever going to beat the rich man. I mean, poor people, think about this. If you take it from the rich and you give it to the poor are now going to be rich. But if you just keep the poor the way they are, which is what all other regimes have tried to do, that support the poor, come on now, it never works. They profit too much. Now, again, I understand. I get America's in a bad spot right now. Come on now. We have like literally like 45% people on welfare. That's not even a lie. Like, that's sad. But like, I mean, what people are trying to do just isn't going to help it. There's a reason why there's always been poor people, because not everybody can be rich. Simply because there's not enough resources on the earth. I'm not going to try to get all in science and all that shit. But I'm just being, honest. Black Lives Matter, all these people, well, Black Lives Matter is more of a race group, but let's be honest, it's if they were rich, they wouldn't be. Just the poor cause so many problems. They're looking for a quick way to the top. They're looking for, and all people need to do is see how unreal people are. Look at all these rappers. They're making all this money and they're trying to be real, but they can't. They can't. Tupac's one of the realest rappers out there. He was, and he spoke of how it was, and he was true. But, there's always that, once you've made it, there's always just that little, Basically what I'm saying, it's fundamentally impossible, and it's sad. I do get it. It's sad. I mean, why can't all people have money? Why can't all... I'm sorry, that was my hand. I'm on my trampoline here, on my lavish estate here, as you can see. Basically, rich will always rule the world. That's just how it is. I'm sorry, world. And I think that's why I want to make this YouTube channel about. It's about reality. About accepting... What's the point? What's the point to go to college? I mean, honest to God, unless you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer, which make lots of money, there's no point in going to college. You're just going to end up making $35,000, $40,000 a year. It's just the way things are. Because you think, well, $35,000, $40,000 is a lot of money. Well, after you pay taxes, after you pay back the college, after you pay back everything, I'm just going to be legit with you. It doesn't work out. So I'm just going to keep you updated and keeping it real. And, I just wanted to say a few things about that. And it's sad. I go back to the communists. The communists are the best example. The Lenin, the bourgeoisie, I honestly forget what the other one's called, the proletariat or whatever. I can't pronounce it. I know it starts with a P. But, see, that's me being real there. I don't even remember what it's called. But they tried so hard to make it work, and it never did. And it's just because you have to have somebody in charge. That's just the fact. And whoever's in charge is in charge of distributing if everybody was in charge, let's be honest, if everybody was in charge of their own things, they'd be gone. If I gave somebody $200, they would go, that's another thing, it's experience. That's why all these rappers and NFL players that were poor and become rich go back to being poor. Because they don't have experience. They weren't born. See, people that are born into, I know this family that's wealthy. And that stuff stays in their family because they're taught how to keep it in the family. And I think you can date that back. It's a cycle. Poor people have less, should I say, less, they have a lot less experience because they've never had experience with money. They've always been in that situation. Rich people, they got successful for a reason. And so when they got successful, they learned how to handle it. That's why all these pro professionals, NFL, all these sports and like Lil Uzi and Lil Yachty and all these rappers, these new rappers, which are going to be broken in about 10, 15 years, it's simply because they don't have the experience. They don't come from that. And when they get it, nobody, everybody around them is the same way. So everybody's like, just spend it. And so that it's unfortunate, but that's just, it's how it goes. I'm sorry if I'm unfocused right now. I'm on my Galaxy, so I'm not using the best recording equipment. Again, I'm being real. But, it's just, that's why it looks like I'm looking the other way. But I'm looking at the camera. But, I feel like so many people are going to hate me for this video. A lot of people are going to be like, shut the fuck up, nigga. Shit like that, But I'm just being real. And, my family's not the richest on the earth. I mean, we're nothing compared to the Trumps. I'm not acting. I'm just being legit. And based on what I've seen, and to be honest with you, I've experienced both. I've lived with my mom, who didn't have a lot of money, and I've seen her ways and how she acts. And I've seen my grandparents, who I currently live with, who have quite a lot. They're pulling $500,000, and I've seen how they do things on an everyday basis. And I think that's what people need to teach. It's not, our schools teach how to get to the top fast. ACT scores, how to get the best ACT scores, how to get into college, how to get in the best college, how to do all these things. But it just doesn't work like, there's a reason democracy, in my opinion, is failing right now. It's because everybody's been taught to be this way. And that just brings down the whole system, like minimum wage, $15 minimum wage. Like, come on now. Let's be honest. It doesn't work like that. It's, inflation. You raise what people are getting paid, people, taxpayer dollars have to go for that. Well, not tax, that's stupid, I'm sorry. McDonald's doesn't get taxpayer dollars. But you see but I mean, customers that go and buy their, it's like schools. You can't just raise teachers' salary in the Midwest from $45,000, $50,000 a year to $500,000. Where's that money going to come from? Taxpayers got to pay that. So the taxpayers who end up paying more, okay, to support that, then they have less money. And they have less money to buy food. And then that company that's making the foods make money. It's just a chain of events. And so that's what I'm saying. People just need to accept that that's the way it is. The rich are always going to be rich, and the poor are always going to be poor. And the rich are always going to win. It's just a fact. I'm just being real. I'm being 100% real. People want real things these days, and I'm being totally real. And it's sad. And I've messed around with some theories, trying to, if we could have more resources and things like that. Yeah, we could. I mean, if we had more resources, this wouldn't be the way. It's simply because of resources, what we have and what we don't have. I can't sell 50 gallons of water if I only have 10. But somebody's got to control that 50 gallons and be in charge of having people distributing that 50 gallons. And somebody's got to be receiving those 50 gallons for it to work. It's just how it goes. So I'm hoping to send you more videos out there talking about this issue. I'm sorry if the video is a little ranky, little not so high quality. I'm using 4K on my Galaxy S7, so this is probably one of the best phone videos you're ever going to see. I'm looking into getting some real stuff, with my money. Which is probably what most of you are saying, like, oh, if he's got so much money, why is he... I'm going to be real. This whole channel is about being real. So, my name is The Trace. My YouTube name is The Trace. And I'm hoping to be hitting you up with some more. And, yeah. Alright, well, see you later.
Woke up early, kissed the bad bitch, rolled me up a blunt, then I took a piss. Can't remember what I did last night. I'm just trying to spend 100 stacks every day of my life.